Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I watched H.A. Goodman and Tim Black last night have a conversation about Catilin Johnston. It was a very gentle conversation. They were being pretty tepid in how they were stepping through the topic because some people had feelings about something that Catilin Johnston wrote in one of her articles. I'm going to read what she wrote in the articles. Oftentimes, I am called upon to be what I call God's arbiter. I say that jokingly because I try to say it from the standpoint of I have no allegiances. I do my channel because I just enjoy doing my channel. And I try to take this objective point of view, as objective as a person can be. Everybody has a certain perspective, meaning these things are to some degree relative. But what would be the mid-range and how you perceive things? And I'm making the point that this God's arbiter thing is trying to look above it all and give some judgment. The hate that's pushed against Catilin Johnston for one of her articles is fucking ridiculous. I won't be tepid about it. I had a conversation with my wife and I said, look, because it was annoying me. I have to be honest, I don't like ridiculousness. I don't like contrived politics. I didn't like it when Hillary Clinton was calling Bernie Sanders sexist. I didn't like it when Hillary Clinton was calling Obama sexist. I didn't like it when Hillary or Trump supporters were saying those nasty, disgusting things about Obama with regards to race. I don't like the minutia that people have conversations about and call it politics. I don't. It annoys the fuck out of me. If I'm being honest, it absolutely annoys me. I waited to do this video from last night because as I watched H.A. and Tim, I was getting heated. It has nothing to do with Catilin Johnston. Zero. I'm going to read her article because I want to show how pathetic the argument is against her. It has to do with what you consider to be politics and what the things that you believe matter to you. The things that you believe matter. The point of the article, you would have to jump the shark, amazingly jump the shark, to completely miss her point. You would have to. Either you're intentionally trying to miss her point, either you're missing her point for politics, or you're somewhat clueless. I don't know which. I don't even care. I'm making the point that it's childish and ridiculous. I'm using the sign here to make the point that it's childish. It's childish. Trump is murdering more people than Obama did, who murdered a lot of people abroad. The problem is Catilin Johnston, though. No, that's the problem. It's not the problem that millions of people still don't have health care. Do you realize right here in Virginia, we had a clinic where millions of people came, or hundreds of thousands of people came to the clinic. They didn't have health care. They didn't have health care. Millions of people in this country still don't have health care right now, this very moment. You know what the problem is? Catilin Johnston. It wasn't the failure of the last president. None of that stuff. It's not issues of economics. The issue is Catilin Johnston. She said something about somebody who was a horrible, disgusting guy. And because she made a point using the guy, that somehow she's bad and wrong. And she must repudiate him. Repudiate him. Do you realize that there have been people on Twitter screaming at her to repudiate this guy? You guys are being fucking childish. You're being childish. Mike Chernovich. Yes, the guy is horrible. I get it. He had nothing to do with her point. He had nothing to do with her point. And just to read it, because I want to, this argument is pretty pathetic. It is pretty light. And you would have to mentally miss her point to have any issue with what she said in this particular article. Because guess what? I said the same goddamn thing. I haven't used Chernovich. And I have to be honest, I don't know anybody from the alt-right. No, I wouldn't necessarily tweet anything that an alt-right person sent me. No, I wouldn't necessarily care if somebody from the alt-right is on my account. Yes, I have Trump supporters on my account because ultimately I think those people want to hear honest perspective, or at least somewhat of a balanced perspective. Not the stupid shit you guys are arguing about over the left, over her style versus substance. You guys completely missed this point. You guys are acting like Donald Trump is a goddamn goblin. I'm sorry, this is a slight detour. That he's the worst person ever to step face on the foot of the earth. Yes, he has a horrible tone. His style is not that much different, or the previous president's tone was different. But what they did, the substance of what they did, has not fundamentally changed. I'm sorry, you're wrong. You're wrong. The issues of this is class. There are people in this country, about 20%. And I'm talking to the people who have issue with Catilin Johnston for using the Mike Chernovich thing, who hate your guts just because you're you. Literally, you get out of bed in the morning, they don't know squat from you. They look at you and they hate your guts. Bake that into the cake. We have a complex history. You have another 10, 20% who will give up your freedoms to some degree for their economic benefit. Bake that into the cake. Guess what? I have no power over those people. I have no power whatsoever over those people. What I have sway on are the people who would full well understand an economics argument matters, who would understand that an argument about not murdering people abroad matters. If somebody who I think is a disgusting person agrees that the TPP is a horrible fucking thing, am I supposed to repudiate the TPP? Or am I supposed to repudiate the fact that I dislike the TPP? I agree with Rand Paul that we're locking too many people up. I agree with Rand Paul that drugs should be legal. I'm not voting for goddamn Rand Paul. I'm making the point to you, her point was very clear. Let me go to the article. Let me flip this over because I'm going on somewhat of a tangent. I have to be honest, it did annoy me. It's bizarre to me. I'm sorry. It just is. I don't understand this this strange level of politics. That's all. Let me see 1 second. All right, right here. So this is what she wrote. And look, you could disagree with me. Fair enough. But understand that what you're disagreeing with for the most part is what somebody said in regards to the style in which they said it. What did she actually say? What did she actually say? Engage your goddamn point. I'm tired of these people using these gotchas in regards to the way people say things and say, I'm going to completely bypass the point that you made and go straight to the way that you said it. Did she have a point? I made a couple of tweets an hour ago about U.S. warmongering in the mainstream media, and according to my notifications, the very first person to retweet it was alt-right hero Mike Chernovich. To be frank, I think a lot more people on the anti-establishment right understand this need to collaborate with those on the anti-establishment left. Chernovich and I probably disagree on more things than we agree with ideologically. Flat fact. I'm saying that's a flat fact. But where we agree, it's absolutely stupid for us not to work together, because you can be damn sure the establishment Republicans and Democrats are working together to advance the agendas of the deep state. The deep state stuff, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with. I think people function based on certain drives and everything else, and you get what you get. There's no there to it, but that's besides the point. What she's saying is absolutely true. She used a disgusting human being to make her point, but are you missing her goddamn point? On the items to which we agree ideologically, I'm missing your point. So, the United States is killing people abroad. Under Obama, we were killing like 90% civilians. Under Trump, that number has increased. So understand what she's saying. We've been paying terrorists. Understand what I'm saying. The United States government, under the Obama administration, has been paying terrorists to undermine another government, another sovereign government. Now, whatever you want to think of Assad, yes, he's a disgusting human being. But that's his country. That's his country. If the Syrian people want to get rid of him, the Syrian people can get rid of him. We have nothing to do with it. Zero. She's making a point that us interfering around the globe has set fires in one country after the next. The United States warmongering. And an alt-right guy tweeted her comment out saying, hey, yeah, we need to stop this warmongering across the country. Yes, the guy she chose was disgusting, but the guy she chose was the first guy who said something to her tweet. Are you completely unaware that the story was created based upon the way the tweet and based upon how this was constructed, meaning based upon the series of events? It blows me away that this is the level of argument that's on the left. And yes, I'm calling it the regressive left because you're being fucking ridiculous and you're being childish. She's making a point in an argument. Own up to it. Be adults. Are you telling me that her using Chernovich in this particular article is somehow completely mars the article? That nothing in this article can be understood or said just because she used the person's Chernovich and you completely hate that particular person as a disgusting human being? Okay. Look, everybody's entitled to your own opinions. You control how you feel about it. You control your own feelings. I think you're being ridiculous. I think you're all being ridiculous. And let's keep going because she makes it further. Once we've killed the establishment propaganda machine that holds America's unelected power establishment in place and given the American people the power to determine the direction of their country will take, Chernovich and I can fight all day to determine the direction of the country will take. I can all day over socialized medicine, whether white men really have it hard, Until that fight is a pointless waste of energy which distracts from the real, clear, and present dangers posed by the deep state. Look, I don't like the deep state stuff. I think it obfuscates from the actual mechanics of how things work. You have a capitalistic system that's working off of incentive structures. It's not people pulling strings in that case. Yes, people collaborate because they want to get things done and they want to advantage themselves. But that's the issue of the model. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for the tangent. Deep state stuff. I keep hearing people use this term deep state, but it's mystifying something that's not really mystified or needs to be that way. It's not esoteric. This does not mean we have to embrace all the beliefs of the anti-establishment right, nor does it mean we've got to collaborate with all of them. Flat fact. When somebody is having a go at her and they're saying repudiate him, which part do they need to repudiate? The fact that he said he actually agreed with her on the U.S. warmongering abroad? Is that a bad thing that he agreed with her on the U.S. warmongering abroad? That sounds insane. I'm sorry, your case sounds insane. Adolf Hitler agrees that we should have socialized medicine, so I myself should repudiate this idea of having everybody having health care. Certainly that argument is ridiculous. That argument is ridiculous. This doesn't mean we have to embrace all the beliefs of the anti-establishment right, nor does it mean we need to collaborate with all of them. When I noticed a notification on Medium saying I've been followed by Richard B. Spencer, I blocked him immediately, for example. I don't doubt that Spencer was curious about my lefty anti-establishment perspective on the very spirit of collaboration that I'm talking about here, but we've all got limits, and that's mine. Now, are you certain that she knew everything that was in the catalog of Childish? Are you certain, before you tar the woman, before you go after her, before you call her bad names and all this other stuff, are you certain that she understood each and everything that was in that person's catalog that you're accusing her of? That you're saying, repudiate, repudiate, you need to repudiate her. You're being children. Grow the fuck up. Yes, that's it. Grow the fuck up. This is... You understand that they're literally making a vote right now to kill healthcare. The tepid healthcare that we have right now. That's the vote that John McCain, the guy with brain cancer, is going to go in to try to make. You understand that Trump is murdering civilians at a rate that outpaces Obama. Literally rips the Band-Aid off. You understand they are fomenting a war with Iran. You have elements in this country that are fomenting a war with Russia. Do you get that? But your issue is Catilin Johnston. Your issue is Catilin Johnston. Grow up. Grow up. You can feel how you feel about this video. In the same way you can have feelings about whatever feelings you have about whatever. Grow up. There are larger issues. Her making a point and using this particular guy, yes, again, a disgusting guy, fair enough, to make her point. If you want to completely miss her point, then you miss her point, fair enough. But this hate against her for it, get over it. There's no there. I will ask her maybe 2 questions about this so she can clear the air on it. I have to be honest, I'm not going to waste time on it, beyond it. So, I'm not going to get into all of this drama. It's just, yeah, it's just drama. It's just drama. My wife was like, why do you guys have all this drama on the left? You guys are like a soap opera. I said, I don't understand why they behave that way. And I'm talking about the left in general, having these type of conversations where you're essentially attacking somebody who's on the left, trying to tar the person as racist. There are actual people who are in this country who are racist. There are actual people in this country who hate your guts and who are actually trying to oppress you. There are systemic issues in this country. She's not even in this country. She's not even in this country. And nothing she's writing has anything to do about any negative on race or anything else or oppression. She's making a point in an article. Somewhat of a philosophical point in the sense of using Childish. And yes, again, I wish you wouldn't have used Childish. Fair enough. I agree with that particular point. But you completely miss a point. Are you completely so unempathetic that somebody using Childish pulled the guy out of a hat? Or whatever, who's the first person to tweet her. Her using that as a case is somehow this thing that warrants we need to spend our time now doing this. It's your time to spend. I'm just saying it's a waste. I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, feel free to share, write, subscribe. You can always support the work through Patreon. Thank you.